Here, this is Lord Potato, and this is, well, what if Boruto had a different karma seal? Now, what I mean about different karma seal, I'm not talking about Momoshiki or Ishiki or Kimishiki or Urushiki. No, I'm not talking about those Utsutsukis. But an OC Utsutsuki that I thought of. Now, I will explain more into who this Otsutsuki is, this one with green hair. But we are going into, well, Boruto. We're going, okay, every time original canon will still go the same. It's just, well, Boruto has the karma seal. Now, Boruto has this green diamond looking with black karma seal. So that's what he has on his palm instead of just being one black Roomba or whatever you like to call it, or diamond. But yeah. Now, we go into Boruto in the, well, chunin exam or whatever it's called. Yeah, the chunin exam. Now, Boruto has already kind of used the device what the scientist gave him. I don't remember the scientist's name, but yeah. The scientist still gave him that device and told him to use it in the tuning exams, and yeah. Now, of course, Boruto went against everyone. And of course, he's still with Satoru going against with the car. That one user with the iron hand, I don't remember his name. Wait. Shinki, that is his name. Yep. So, yeah. Okay. So, of course, Satoru still lost towards Shinki and all that, and Boruto tried to fight him with lightning and all that. So, of course, this is when Boruto uses Chidori and all that. And it's like Chidori's getting, well, defeated because Shinki's way stronger with Iron Sand. So, Boruto, what he uses is, well, the gadget still. And, of course, he's still trying to break through it. But, of course, the gadget kind of, what's it called? Malfunction in this one. So, of course, when he's using purple lightning, it kind of also kind of gave him water, and it kind of fucked up his jutsu. Well, not water, it gave him a fire attack, which it fucked up his hand. This is when Naruto's hurting. Now, this gadget is not on the same hand for the karma seal. So, of course, this is where he just fucked up his hand, and of course, well, Naruto noticed the gadget, because, well, Boruto's hand is all kind of scorched, and even his, like, what's it called? Jacket's kind of burnt and all that, and it can see the gadget. This is where Boruto takes it off and says, fuck, I lost. Shinki didn't even know what the fuck even happened, and he just realized that Naruto was cheating. Or not Naruto, Boruto. And of course, this is where Naruto says, this is where Naruto says, Naruto, or not Naruto, Boruto, did you cheat? Boruto says, yeah, I did, whatever. This is where Naruto says, since for your crime, because Naruto's down there, he says, for your crime and all that, you are no longer a shinobi. Boruto says, oh, fuck. Well, that's a rip. Boruto doesn't seem much of effective instead of like an original canon. Because Boruto, he really doesn't care. He'd rather just train. This whole chunin exam thing was just to help out the scientist about his gadget. And of course, saw that the gadget was malfunctioned, so he kind of grabbed a piece of paper out of nowhere and kind of write on there. And kind of says, okay, Hokage, can you give this to the scientist and tell him that his like gadget kind of like fucked up at the end. But yeah, with that happening, you tell him that the gadget's pretty good, but then blah 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 and all that. That's where Naruto says, were you not trying the whole time in the tuning exam? Boruto says, no, of course I was trying. What else do you think I was doing? Testing out the gadgets? Well, I mean, yes, that was one part of the thing. But yeah, pretty much, I really didn't care that much. Boruto said, because the reason why Boruto's attitude just changed all of a sudden is because Boruto just doesn't really care. He just wants to show off his true, well, not feelings, his personality. And of course, Naruto's confused, but Boruto can sense one thing. And of course, taking all his power not to be so angry in his, well, in what's it called? Right in front of his like father. Not because he's angry because of his father, like taking the ninja's Kenpan and all that. No, he's not angry because of that. He's angry because there's 3 presents. Or should I say, 5 presents, a total. Presents that he can sense. And of course, he's getting angry and angrier. He's getting flashbacks and flashbacks. Now, these flashbacks are actually him with a person with green hair and horn. And of course, this person has kind of green eyes and just talking to Boruto. Having kind of laughing, kind of like drinking stuff like water and all that. Kind of eating and all that. And Boruto's just getting more flashback, getting angrier and angrier. But of course, he doesn't want to show it off with what they call him not really caring in his like personality and all that. when he's talking to someone Naruto. Of course, this is where Naruto didn't notice Boruto being very angry or anything. So of course, this is where Naruto declared Shinki to be the winner and all. Some people cheered, some people were kind of disappointed in Boruto for kind of cheating and all that. Then again, they also noticed that Boruto really didn't give two fucks. Goddamn. Of course, Boruto, he's just walking in the hallway, and of course he's just having this anger. Of course, it started leaking off. His anger just started leaking off. This is where he's feeling more pissed and pissed. This is where, Naruto's telling that Shinki is the winner. The Sand Sand Shinobi has just won. And yeah, of course, some of the Kages are kind of disappointed and what's called Naruto's son, Boruto, who actually just cheated and all that. And of course, Boruto saying, those damn bastards. So he's not talking about the Kages mostly. He's talking about the presents that he gets sent. So Boruto, he kind of looked at his, So his left hand is kind of scorched and all that, but started healing a little bit. This is where he looks at his right hand. In his right hand, he sees the diamond pattern that he only covered up with a black glove and all that. This is where he takes the black glove off and sees the diamond pattern and all that. And he just says, I will revenge you, my friend. He gets like more flashback memories. Of course, he's right now in the stadium. People are kind of glaring at him. People are looking at him. People are disappointed. Some people just don't care. Of course, Sakura looks at Boruto and was about to slap him because, she did just slap him. But of course, Boruto didn't feel the emotion. He wasn't really caring of what he was doing in the outside. Right now in his, flashbacks that he keeps seeing, he keeps getting annoyed. Not annoyed of the person that's in it, but what really happened. This is where Boruto said, he's kind of breathing hard, and of course Sakura thought that she must have accidentally slapped the hell out of him too hard, that Boruto was just breathing too hard, and right now he's having an anxiety attack or whatever. This is where Sakura says, Boruto, are you okay? This is where Boruto is still just quiet, very quiet. Some of the, friends of Boruto are starting to get worried. They were kind of angry, but now they're worried. And this is where Boruto, he looks up to the sky. From the railing, he looks up in the sky. He sees, the sort of two presents that he sent, but the other two, three that he sent, there were because there were 5 in total. He didn't see. He then looked at the person that he was seeing in the sky. This is where he sees Momoshiki and Kimashiki. This is where the two Otsutsukis are kind of just floating in the air and kind of laughing, and we're about to just get down there and start fighting and all that. And of course, Boruto saying, I killed them all. This is where Sakura heard it and says, kill who? Boruto. He kind of pushes Sakura away. And of course, this is where the Otsutsukis appeared and says, hello there, Ninetales. Yeah, I think that's what they call Naruto. Naruto was shocked that Otsutsuki had appeared. Of course, he has Kimishiki beside him. And, not Kimishiki, what am I talking about? Shinki with him. So, of course, this is where Naruto's getting worried why the hell there Otsutsuki's here. Of course, this is where Kimishiki rushes at Naruto. Of course, Naruto was getting ready. But this is where, instead of Sasuke jumping down and trying to protect his Hokage and all that, because he's a Shadow Kage, this is where instead of anyone jumping in else, it was Boruto to jump in. Now, of course, this is where Boruto, he blocks the red weapon chakra made out of. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I forgot what it really was. But yeah, he blocked the axe with his own weapon made out of chakra. It's green, and of course Boruto blocked it. That's where Boruto, he's saying, I'm gonna kill you all. All of the Otsutsuki's. You bastard should have died a long time ago. That's where Kimishiki jumped back, and he felt the bloodlust, this huge amount of bloodlust of hatred and murderous intent. This is where Kimishiki jumped back and says, what the hell is wrong with this kid? This is where Momoshiki says, what is wrong, Kimishiki? Did you get scared of a kid? And this is where Kimishiki says, no, I didn't. It kind of surprised me a kid jumped in. I was going for the Ninetales. This is where Sasuke saw Boruto. But this is where Naruto noticed one thing. Everyone noticed one thing. Boruto wasn't the same. he had his hair being yellow, of course, but his karma seal has just been activated. Instead of being black, like any normal karma seal, it is green. So it's a green karma seal. Of course, all the way to his like right eye. Or, wait, would it be left eye? Wait, yeah, it would be left eye that he had. His right arm had a scorch and all that, but now it's healed. Right now, his karma seal has went all the way towards his left eye and all that. Wait, let me think. I'm gonna just say that his karma seal is on his right side instead of being his left side, like in original canon for Momoshiki's, because this one is different. Now, this is where Boruto's pissed and looking at what's it called, the Otsutsuki's. Momoshiki's surprised to see a karma seal user, or mostly another Otsutsuki, but in the karma seal. Also, Naruto, Boruto does have what's it called, a horn. But instead of being a horn like the, Momoshiki and all that, it is kind of like in his head, being different. Of course, it's kind of also curved, like this. Like this horn. So, yeah. This is where Boruto is saying, "You bastards should die." Now, where does he have the green kind of sword blade and all that he made out of chakra? Is on his left hand. His right hand is right now, he has a karma seal. This is where he's glaring at the two Otsutsukis. While the three Otsutsuki that came with, three Otsutsuki, so Urashiki and two others were kind of watching this. Also, someone in the stadium with white hair and white eyes, sort of white eyes, kind of like silverish eyes, kind of are, she's looking at Naruto, Boruto. Naruto and Sasuke are looking at Boruto, confusedly and kind of confused, very confused. They are like, what the fuck is happening? This is where Momoshiki's trying to think, who the hell has a green karma seal? Because all Otsutsukis have, when they put a karma seal onto something, it will either just be black, not green. But of course, which Momoshiki has never seen someone use a green karma seal before. The only other karma seal that he has seen was a lightish bluish greenish karma seal that the king has used, the king of Otsutsuki's. But that's the only thing he has seen. But of course, the king of Otsutsuki's right now is kind of sick. So of course, this is where Momoshiki is saying, "Who the hell is this bastard? I can't remember who uses green karma seal, or did anyone show up to use green karma seal?" This is where Momoshiki kind of wanted to ask Urashiki, since Urashiki is the one to always like travel to planets and all that. And Kimishiki is just the one to usually brutalize to kill people and all that. But Urashiki is the one to kind of be like a spy and all that. Or not a spy, kind of spy out the land and all that and try to find Kage and all that. But of course, this is where, Urashiki is doing something. But of course, Boruto noticed Urashiki. And this is where Boruto, he made a portal, because he can make portals, and he grabs Urashiki from the portal and throw him at what's called Kimishiki. Kimishiki and Urashiki just collided together, smashing into the wall. This is where both Sasuke and Naruto are more confused, since the portal is not black, it is green. And of course, this is where Momoshiki says, "Yeah, he can make portals. This is confusing as hell." Now, where the horn is at of what's called Boruto's head, that place where the horn's at, his hair is actually turning kind of green. That place. So it's yellow, but of course it's turning green now, where the horn has appeared and all that. So this is where Boruto's pissed. He is sending so much bloodlust, anger, murderous intent towards the Otsutsukis. Now, Boruto didn't grab the other two Otsutsuki because he just didn't give two fucks. Because he can sense him kind of being weaker than this Otsutsuki. So, yeah. So, of course, he just grabbed the, what they call, fishman Otsutsuki, whatever. Because he kind of saw that this guy looked like a fisherman. With that red chakra weapon and all that. Of course, this is what Urashiki says. "God damn it!" This is where Momoshiki, before letting Urashiki kind of go fight against Boruto, he asked Kimishiki to go fight against Boruto. And of course, then he asked Urashiki, "Has any other Otsutsuki came to this planet?" Urashiki says, "Yeah, Kaguya. That's the only other Otsutsuki." but any others. Because I'm definitely betting that Kaguya didn't just give a karma seal to a kid. No, not exactly. Other Otsutsuki's. Ishiki? We haven't actually heard of Ishiki anything about where he's at, and the only thing I have heard about Ishiki was he went with Kaguya when he came to this planet. This is where Momoshiki says, but his karma seal isn't green. It's supposed to be black since he's only a knight. Well, one of the, how's it called, knight Otsutsukis. And Kaguya, you know what she is, right? Yeah, I know that. But there's no way in hell they both gave him the karma seal. What other Otsutsuki came to this planet? Urashiki saying, that's actually a hard thing. I have heard of an incident with the Prince Otsutsuki. The Prince? Oh, yeah, right, the Prince. Then he says, wait, does he have green hair? No, he has blonde hair. Urashiki looks at the, Boruto right now fighting against, Kimishiki. And Kimishiki's getting his asses right now just beat. He's like trying to attack Boruto, but Boruto's really fast and really slippery for Kimishiki. And so Kimishiki's right now getting fucking uppercutted, punched to the ground, fucking grab his leg and spin his ass towards one of the walls. Of course, all the civilians are right now running because, they're evacuating and all that. But of course, Boruto's classmates are not evacuating right now. But yeah, because they're confused as hell, because what the fuck does Boruto have? This is where Denki is trying to, I think that's his name, Denki? I don't remember his name, the guy with glasses. Tries to search up what the hell Boruto has, but it never shows up. It says unknown. So yeah, of course, this is where, Momoshiki says, the prince, you said. The prince, didn't he get lost, or didn't he just left home planet to kind of go do something? What was it? That's where Urashiki says, I don't know, not exactly entirely sure. That's during when his father was still kind of sick. You know, the king of Otsutsuki. Yeah, but did he want to go find something to heal his father? Not exactly. I think he was just wanting to explore the different universe and planets. You know how the prince was. The prince was kind of more gentle and kind. Kind of like his mother, who is kind of related to you-know-who in this planet. This is where, Urashiki nodded. This is where, Momoshiki says, if the prince came to this planet, maybe to find his grandmother, Kaguya. Of course, Urashiki nodded, and this is where they think about it, but then they also thought about something else, about how the prince died, or how the prince was told to be dead, and the king was so, distraught, and had, only son dying, and he's being more sick and all that. This is where the two Otsutsuki's now got an idea, and who the hell this kid with blonde hair has the karma seal of. They only have an idea. They can't really prove it. Now Boruto's trying to fucking murdering, trying to kill Kimishiki. He's trying to stab at him. Kimishiki's right now dodging attacks, trying to dodge the blade, because the blade can actually hurt him, and actually can fucking kill him. Any blade can kill him, but this blade is more powerful. Boruto's trying to stab and says, die, die, die. He's so angry. Of course, the Otsutsuki Kimishiki, he managed to push Boruto away and kind of be next to Urashiki and Momoshiki, and he's kind of breathing hard. That's where Momoshiki and Kimishiki look at him and say, are you fucking tired? Kimishiki said, oh, how about you go fight against him, you fucking prick, Fisher? This is where Urashiki says, I don't think I would rather like to fight against the prince who has the karma seal. This is where Kimishiki says, what? This is where Momoshiki kind of interrupts and says, that kid has the karma seal of the prince. Now this is where we go into Boruto's flashback. Into a flashback of a memory. A very memory that he wished to just forget. A memory of, his friend that he met when he was 10 years old. So Boruto kind of got lost in outside the village. And of course, Boruto's trying to find his way back home. But of course, bandits there tried to attack him. And of course, this is where he kind of, what's it called? Not banished and all that. This is where he gets, not, he doesn't want to forget it, but he just remembers his memory. And of course, this is where this person kind of helped him away from the bandits and all that. This person who kind of looked like the age of being, well, kind of looking like the age of being 14, kind of a little bit more older than Boruto and all that. And of course, this person had green hair, so this green hair, and a horn. And of course, where clothes were green, not white. Kind of like lightish green and all that. Kind of like Zoro a little bit, okay? But not really. So of course, this is an Otsutsuki that came to this planet. Kind of looking for herbs at the same time. Kind of just looking for his grandmother. Of course, he kind of saw the boy getting attacked by bandits. And of course, decided to help him. This is where Barta says, whoa, that's so cool. This is where the older kid and all that, because this Otsutsuki is not old enough to be like an older man or anything. And of course, this is where Barta says, whoa, who are you exactly? This is where the person says, huh? Oh, my name is Zarin Otsutsuki. This is where Barta says, Otsutsuki? I never heard of that name or any clan. Interesting. So cool. This is where Zarin Otsutsuki kind of uses his eyes. His eyes were a color of green tentagon. So an advanced tentagon. They kind of look like the tentagon, but weren't really the tentagon. His eyes was green. And of course, this is where he actually just called them the, what's it called? He called them the Kuzagan, and that's what he just named them. And of course, this is where he looks at Boruto and kind of realized one thing of Boruto when he's using his eyes on Boruto. He realized that Boruto is actually a descendant of Kaguya. Now, this is where Boruto actually knows about the information, him being a descendant of Kaguya also, but I'll get to that later. So, Boruto is kind of just being cheerful and all that to, well, Saron. And of course, this is where Saron just realized that he's a descendant of Kaguya. Just like he's a descendant of Kaguya also. Well, mostly it's like great-grandmother. And of course, he wanted to meet his great-grandmother since Otsutsuki can live for not ever, but a while. So yeah. Of course, this is where he looks at Boruto. He kind of gets down and hugs him. And of course, this is where Boruto says, can I help you? And of course, this is where Soron says, don't worry about it. I just wanted to hug you because you might have been scared. Boruto says, yeah, I was. But then you came along. You're very strong. And of course, Soron just smiles. So of course, this kind of went on for a couple more times. This is where Boruto also had another flashback memory. In this memory, he fucking forgets. He hates it. He hates this memory. This memory is when, what's it called, Zoran? Otsutsuki was with Boruto, and Boruto at the time was still 10 years old. And of course, this is where Zoran, kind of, what's it called, like, since these Otsutsukis coming to this planet, and this is where he kind of tells Boruto to go hide. This is where Boruto listens and go hide in some bushes. And of course, Boruto's chakra hasn't still kind of developed and all that. And this is where, well, two Otsutsukis with kind of having black cloaks instead of being white or anything like that appeared, and of course, their horns were black. This is where Zoron Otsutsuki says, can I help you too? With a straight face instead of being smiling. This is where the two of them said, yes, you can, Prince. You can die. This is where Zoron tries to dodge an attack but still gets hit in the heart. And of course, this is where Zoron Otsutsuki was coughing up blood. This is where the Otsutsuki two came, like, crush, Zoron's heart, so he would have to not be able to regenerate anything. And he just tell Zoron Otsutsuki, when you die, there will be no more royalty Otsutsukis left. That means we, of the other Otsutsuki branches, we will be able to rule, especially our clan side. That's where Zoron Otsutsuki said, why? I didn't even do anything to you. This is where the two Otsutsuki says, you didn't, but we didn't want you to be our prince. We want strong people, people that would, like, burn different worlds. Your what's it called family has become too soft. And we do not want that. Now, who is left in your family is your father, your weakened state father. He's gonna be easy to kill, except for all those guards that he has. But we will get there slowly but surely to kill him. This is where the two Otsutsukis just disappear after that. And this is where Boruto, he rushes out of the bush and saw Zoran Otsutsuki. This is where he rushes towards what's called Zoran, and he says, Zoran, are you okay? Zoran. This is where Zoran looks at Boruto with one eye open and says, Boruto, come here. This is where Boruto goes up and like reaches for Zoran. This is where Zoran puts both of his hands on Boruto's hand. And this is his what's called right hand. It's where Zoran says, please Boruto, please, I want you to live good. Just listen to me. Don't go after revenge. Boruto didn't listen to that and just cut out for a second because he was kind of angry and all. But Zoran then says, Boruto, promise me this. You won't go after revenge. And Boruto cut that out again because he doesn't remember anything about revenge or anything, but except that he wants revenge against the Otsutsuki. And then this is where he said, Boruto, I also want you to also live a happy life. Be strong for me, please. Don't do anything dumb. Boruto, just don't attack any Otsutsuki that doesn't look like they want to attack. Please. Do it for me, cousin. Or descendant cousin of mine. This is where Boruto, he didn't catch that last part, but Boruto's hand was shaking. Of course, a diamond seal with what's called 4 other diamonds around it appeared. And of course, that's his karma seal that he has for Zoran. This karma seal is different from any other Otsutsukis. Any other Otsutsuki are from the side branch or anything like that. He got it from the royal branch. And of course, his karma seal allows him to use a green karma seal instead. Of course, this is where Boruto says, no, Zoran. This is where Zoran's body just disappears. Now, of course, it just disintegrating and all that. It's just gone. Boruto's saddened. And of course, he says, I promise I would. Boruto says, I will kill all Otsutsuki that came to this planet. He ignored what's called Zoran's warning about not attacking any others. But this is where Boruto, he's very angry when he opened his eyes from that flashback memory. He's crying, he's angry and all that, and he's glaring at the 3 Otsutsukis right in front of him. So this is where, the 3 Otsutsuki, Momoshiki, Urashiki, and Kimishiki. Kimishiki says, how about you go fight him, Urashiki? I'm not gonna fight him again. Goddamn, that kid is scary. This is where Urashiki says, if I already know who the hell this kid is, he has the royal karma seal of the prince, Zoran Otsutsuki. This is where Kimishiki says, the fuck? Hell, you could have told me that before I decided to fight him. No wonder he's very powerful. But the Prince Otsutsuki never shown to, be very murderous towards us. It seems to maybe the Prince Otsutsuki just decided to give him his power towards this person. And this person was close to the prince. I don't know what happened, but yeah, Boruto's pissed. Because he is now 12, and he'd be 12, and of course Zoran would be, 16. So of course Boruto saw Zoran as an older brother somewhat figure and all that. And of course this is where Boruto is pissed. He is so pissed that when Naruto decides to go towards what's called Boruto, because he wanted to know what is happening, he grabs Boruto from the shoulder and then asks him in a demanding tone about what is happening and why you have a horn. This is where when he said that, Boruto snapped and decided to just elbow Naruto and touch Naruto's seal and absorb some of the Nine Tails chakra. That's where Boruto gets stronger. And of course, Naruto gets hit into a wall. That's where Boruto says, doesn't matter what I do, I will kill you all. This is where Momoshiki says, wait. This is where Boruto was about to attack until Momoshiki says, wait. This is where Boruto stops for a second and says, what do you want, bastard? Momoshiki says, first of all, I'm not a bastard, but second of all, we are not the Otsutsukis that killed Zoran. Actually, we're Otsutsukis from another branch. Mostly, somewhat the well, I'm mostly from the, what, Royal Main Branch Guards. I just came along to find Kaguya in this planet. We weren't expecting to find, well, the Prince Karma Seal onto you. This is where prior to say it. So what if I have Zorono Otsutsuki's Karma Seal? This is where Momoshiki says, okay, so you confirm that. Since you have, well, his Karma Seal now, and he doesn't need to evade your body because I feel like he gave it to you and gave all his power and knowledge towards you, we are not going to want you to fight. We instead want to bargain. Is our bar to say, bargain? I thought you came to this planet to destroy it. Boruto was so confused about bargain things. He then says, what do you want to bargain? Momoshiki said, well, we want to bargain you. Exactly. A sort of trade. We won't destroy the planet, because that was actually somewhat our main goal, but also our other goal was to find Kaguya. But since we can't really find where the hell Kaguya is at, we just want to make a bargain. We won't destroy this planet, we won't also go after Kaguya, and we won't attack anyone or kill that Ninetales, which I'm guessing is your father, that black hair guy, or anyone else. If when you turn a certain age, I'm guessing for human years that would be 16, you will come with us towards our planet and become the new royal king of the Otsutsukis. Boruto goes, what? This is where Sasuke says, the fuck? Everyone is still in the stadium, and the 3 other Otsutsuki are kind of unknown. Well, I say 2, and 1 white-haired girl that's kind of unknown. Says, what? Everyone is just like, what? Boruto's like, but why? I'm not a Otsutsuki, I'm a human. Momoshiki says, no you're not. You're able to use the horn. Well, about, I'm gonna guess, 75% of, well, the Karma Seal has already been embedded into you. So you're slowly turning into an Otsutsuki while you're using the power. I'm guessing you have trained using the Karma Seal, so you will probably be at 75% Otsutsuki already. But that's not the matter. Even if you do turn into the Otsutsuki somewhat prince and all that, or kind of look like it, you will still need to be strong enough, so we're gonna give you 4 years to become that strong and turn 16 and become the king, okay? You also have to marry other people to kind of have a kid so your prince legacy won't die. So yeah. Boruto says, the fuck is wrong with you? No, not happening. Momoshiki says, well, that's the only other choice, or we kind of destroy the planet and take you with us. Boruto says, oh shit, that's even the worst plan. That's what Naruto says. I guess we will have to stop you before we even do the second one. Boruto, he thinks about it. He even goes back to the flashback memory about what's it called, Zoron Otsutsuki, and it just tells him about find someone you love, protect them, blah blah blah, find people that you love and all that, and also don't go after revenge. It was never necessary to revenge. Heh, I just wanted you to live long, cousin. At the end, Boruto just realized that he was somewhat a cousin related to what's it called, Zoron. Then he asked, is Kaguya the grandmother of the great grandmother of Zoron Otsutsuki? Momoshiki said, somewhat. She is the first somewhat queen that was married to the king, had a child, but then Kaguya ran away. We don't actually know where Kaguya went. We thought that she went to this planet. Wait, what's it called? Ishiki. Kind of disguised as another Otsutsuki. This is where Boruto says, yeah. I guess so. Then why did Zoron Otsutsuki call me cousin? Or descendant cousin of mine? This is where Omoshiki, Urishiki, and Kimishiki says, the fuck should we know? Unless Kaguya had children in this planet, and you're descendants of Kaguya, we can only guess that's what it is. Naruto says, I can confirm that somewhat. we were actually, yeah, we are actually descendants of Kaguya. Momoshiki says, that's your answer. We're not, Naruto said it. It was mostly Sasuke. And this is where Momoshiki says, well, that guy said it for you. You are a descendant of Kage Otsutsuki. So you were a prince anyway. But with you having this karma seal of Zoron Otsutsuki, you are now more royalty than any other Otsutsuki. So yeah. Now, I will stay here just to train you, Momoshiki said. Because, well, I don't really want to go back to the planet and kind of warn about your existence just yet. You need to be strong enough so evil Utsutsukis from the other side of the branch side won't decide to come over here and try to kill you. This is where Boruto says, okay. This is where Momoshiki says, don't worry, I'm not gonna go destroy planets kill people after you won't be looking after me. Naruto nods slowly. This is where, well, Urashiki says, then how are we gonna take the night? This is where Momoshiki punched him in the head, knocking him out, saying, ignore him, he's just a bit stupid. This is where Kimishiki says, sir, do we know? We stay here and wait until he becomes the right age so he can go back to the planet. We also gotta train him. You realize that the King Otsutsuki, he is very sick. We need a prince, a royalty member of the Otsutsuki clan. Because, well, you realize that the other Otsutsuki tribe, the other side branch, are kind of revolution against the King Otsutsuki. This is where Kimishiki nodded and said, okay, then I guess we stay here. This is where, well, a white-haired girl jumped off the, balcony and all that. And, well, off the railing and all that. And started kind of walking towards Momoshiki and Kimishiki, walked past him. And walked towards Urashiki. Urashiki managed to wake up and says, what the hell? Momoshiki, don't fucking hit me in the head, bastard. Momoshiki says, then don't be an idiot. We're here to protect the prince. We're not here to attack the prince, moron. We're not from the other tribe. Urashiki says, yeah, you could have told me that nicely. This is where Momoshiki smirks and says, oh, why would I do that anyway? This is where, well, Urashiki says, oh, screw you, Momoshiki. Momoshiki says, sure, why not? This is where the girl that's right now standing in front of him. This is where Urashiki says, what the hell do you want, human? This is where, well, the white-haired girl says, you ungrateful fucking, well, not ungrateful father. You ungrateful bastard father of mine. You left me on this planet to do what exactly? Urashiki says, father? Momoshiki says, father? Boruto and Kimishiki say, what? They're kind of confused. And of course, we're not kind of, they're fully confused. They're like, what? Urashiki says, daughter of mine? So this is how she looks in her human form. But this is where, she just kind of said, Henjutsu off. And of course, she showed her true self. Now, of course, she isn't that tall. She kind of, a little bit, kind of like the same size as Boruto, same height a little bit, kind of being like 4 a little bit. I'm gonna say that Boruto's like 4, not 4. He's like 5, no, not 5, 4'8", and she is kind of the same height as Boruto, also 4'8". And of course, that's where Urashiki says, daughter of mine. What's it called? Her name is Kinashin. Now, I don't know what that actually means in Japanese or English because I just thought of fucking words and letters to just mix with Shin and all that. Because that's basically what half the Utsutsukis are named. Shin, Urashiki Shin, or not Shin, Urashiki, what's it called? Momoshiki, and even Kimishiki, Ushiki. Yeah, you get the point. But no, this girl is actually called Sayana Otsutsuki. So she is looking at her father pissed, really pissed, having her Byakugan activated. But her Byakugan is not kind of white, but purple instead, just glaring at her father. Urashiki said, oh, well, you got the powers of your mother. Why are you glaring at me like that? This is where, well, Sayana says, bastard left me here and didn't even tell me what to do. You just left me here when I was fucking, how should I say, I don't know, 7 years old. This is where, well, Bart is kind of surprised because he never thought this girl was an Otsutsuki. If we would have known, he probably would have tried to kill her. This is where Urashiki says, you're fine. You became so strong though. You awoke in your mother's eyes. Don't kill me. This is where, well, Sayana says, if I wanted to kill you, Dad, I would have let Bart over there, the new Otsutsuki prince, kill you instead. Execute you instead. This is where Urashiki says, that is true. That is true. But you're not gonna let him, are you? Sayana thinks about it and says, I don't know. Bart says, okay, first of all, I don't really care about this whole thing of your family thing and problem. I'm not even gonna try to kill him. Urashiki says, yeah. This is where Bart says, but if he pisses me off enough, I'm gonna stab him multiple times. So this is where Sayana says, it'll be fine. You can kill him. I don't really care. He left me here, so yeah. This is where Boruto nods. And this is where, well, Urashiki goes, why? This is where Momoshiki is laughing. He is dying laughing. He is just dying laughing. This is where two, other Utsutsukis have appeared out of their invisibility mode and all that. Because these Utsutsukis have, well, one has what's called blue hair, kind of whitish and all that. And the other kind of has kind of like reddish, well not reddish, kind of, how should I say, kind of grayish color and all that. And their eyes are completely different from being a normal white Byakugan. One is kind of bluish and the other one is kind of like grayish, bluish. So yeah. This is where they look at Momoshiki and say, Father, so are we going to have to stay on this planet also? This is where Urashiki says, so, it's not being that hard to be a father, Momoshiki. Momoshiki says, too bad, at least I didn't left my daughter and a planet. This is where, well, Urashiki says, he felt bad, really bad. This is where the two Otsutsuki girls kind of go up to, well, Sayana and say, so you're Sayana Otsutsuki, the daughter of Urashiki. And of course, Sayana nodded. And of course, this is where the two of them say, you want to be friends? And this is where Sayana says, yeah. This is where Bart is still fucking confused. And this is where Momoshiki and Urashiki then thinks about it. Since what's it called, Bart needs to marry people to kind of continue the royal bloodline. Why not the best thing is their daughters? So of course, this is where they kind of walk up to Bart and says, please take our, what's it called, daughters in marriage. So Bart goes, what the fuck? He's kind of blushing, kind of greenish and on it. But of course, it's caught. His hair kind of became a little bit more green when he's still staying in his karma seal mode and on it. And of course, he's like, what the hell are you talking about? Marriage? The hell? This is where the three girls are blushing right now. All the different colors and that. And this is where Bart is like, I'm not old enough for that shit. And I'm just gonna walk slowly away from you. Kind of being next to Kimoshiki. Since he's the only one that doesn't have a daughter or anything or whatever bullshit you're talking about. This is where Kimoshiki asks Urashiki and Momoshiki if they're really deciding to really marry off their daughters to a prince. Or still not a prince, but gonna be there. And this is where Momoshiki and Urashiki nodded. This is where both are like, what's it called, both of them and their daughters just looked at them, glaring at them, saying, the fuck are you talking about? And of course, this is where Momoshiki and Urashiki just hug each other and say, please help us, Prince. This is where Bart says, yeah, no, I'm good. I just came here to try to kill you and what the hell is happening? My head is hurting. So Boruto went out of what's it called, his transformation of the karma cell, but that spot that had the horn and all that, his spot where it kind of started turning green, it stayed green. So of course this is where, Boruto is just saying, what the hell is happening? Naruto wakes up after getting fucking knee to the fucking, well, not knee, elbow to the stomach, and he just walks out saying, what is happening? What's it called? Also, Shinki is still there, kind of just confused with Sasuke, just wondering what the fuck is happening. Half the girls, like, in the stadium of Naruto's friends, mostly, like Chojo and the other, blah, 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 are just like confused, blushing, and just like, what the fuck is happening? Sada is kind of mad and all that because she's feeling kind of, she felt kind of love with Boruto, but Boruto really didn't feel any love because he's kind of was dense and all that. But still, with his new power and all that and knowledge, he's still kind of dense because the prince was also kind of dense and love and all that. So yeah, this is where Mitsuki kind of just appeared right next to Boruto and say, "So, is this really some kind of new karma seal that you have, or not karma seal, a seal?" Boruto says, "Yeah, I'd really never shown it because I would rather not. I didn't want people to judge me that much." So yeah, this is where everyone is kind of jumping down, and of course they're talking to Boruto, kind of asking him questions, blah blah blah. And this is where Hinata and Hinawari rushes towards the car. Boruto and hugs him and told him that we are worried about you. Don't ever do something stupid like that ever again. And this is where we go into a time skip of 4 days. So of course the Otsutsukis were having to move in with Boruto. So of course they decide to try to make what's called Naruto's house, that's what's it called, that his parents intended to live in all that, bigger, but the land was too short, and yeah, you get the point. So they decided to move it into making a compound for Boruto. So they just called this clan Otsutsuki clan because they really didn't want to change anything. So yeah. So of course Boruto's living in this compound. Of course he's close to the village and all that. And of course he is somewhat training with Momoshiki. Of course the 3 girls and also what's called, 3 daughters of, 2 daughters of Momoshiki and 1 of Urushiki. And also Kimishiki just here, just protecting all that. Kind of just being the outlook and all that. Because if Ishiki Otsutsuki, that was also here with Kaguya, is still alive in this planet, but Momoshiki thinking that Ishiki was a smart person, uses karma seal, just trying to transfer his body around with people. Then he's probably going to look for a suitable vessel, and also, try to find Kaguya and kill her. So yeah, of course, is where Boruto's just still training with what's called Momoshiki, and he did get his ass kicked multiple times because Boruto wasn't strong enough. But yeah, of course Boruto does summon out one of his swords. When I mean one of his swords, not the green chakra blade sword that he can make. No, but a small, a medium sword that he actually picked up when he was outside the village. So let me go into a flashback. Boruto has kind of found in a cave and all that, a sword. It was on like a medium, somewhat tanto katana like that. It was green, and he actually liked it a lot. So he picked it up and swung it around, and of course it was very light to him. So of course he decided to take it. Of course he didn't know how to get rid of it. Well, not get rid of it, mostly not be able to show it on himself until he read about sealing. And of course he's really smart about how to use sealing and all that. So of course he puts a sealing mark in his arm that has the sword in it. So yeah. So Boruto can pull it out anytime and try to cut down the person. Now the sword can really cut down through metal and all that pretty easily if he adds lightning chakra. And of course Boruto's lightning is not a very lightish kind of color. It's actually green when he uses the karma seal, or when he just adds more chakra into his lightning. It turns green. It's green or yellow when he kind of adds more chakra. So yeah. Of course, this is where, he's using that against Momoshiki, and Momoshiki is dodging the attacks, but realized that it's pretty sharp in the blade, that he should probably not get hit by it. So yeah. So of course, after that kind of small training and all that, Boruto wasn't on the ground that much, he wasn't hurt that much, but yeah. Of course, missions had to be more, not more, what am I talking about? No, missions had to kind of stay the same and all. So in original canon and all that. But instead of Naruto fighting against Momoshiki and all that, in original canon, yeah, that never happened. So Boruto, he's actually going to summon out his creatures and also train in his jutsus more, because he now has shown off his karma seal. So yeah, of course, his karma seal does allow him to what's called absorb attacks or even deflect them back. So this is where he kind of uses three jutsus that what's called a Zoro Otsutsuki kind of teaching. That Zoro Otsutsuki had actually kind of created, and he had known about chakra and all that, and yeah, that he created three jutsus in total. What's called one being very powerful that can send lightning from the sky and all. The second one is the first one is called lightning. What's called lightning God's wrath. Inside God's wrath. The second one is called lightning pillar, and then the third one is that of an upgrade version of just lightning pillar, but the 9 heavenly pillars of heaven. Basically, it's just 9 lightning pillars just hitting the ground and exploding. So yeah. Of course, Boruto's not going to use them around the leaf pillars or anything because he knows that they are very destructive and all that, and take a lot of chakra. So he doesn't do it, but instead he decides to summon out his summoning creatures. He summoned out what's called the dragons, the phoenix, and even the Leviathan. This is where they all ask Boruto why he summoned them, and of course Boruto just said that it's kind of worrying if you guys were still here or you just left because I haven't used you for a while. The dragon says, well, you realize that you're the only other contract, well, not only other contract user, the only contract user for each of us to be summoned, so why would we leave you if you're the closely most powerful and worthy enough to kind of use our power? Boruto says, that is true. I'm also wanting to know if I can learn the different sage modes from you guys. This is where they said, yeah, but you're still kind of small, and we don't accidentally want to break you since you're that small. Boruto says, screw you. But yeah. So, of course, this is where they decide to poof away, and they tell him that when Boruto does turn a certain age, like 14, he's able to kind of learn the sage modes now. But yeah. But this is actually where I'm going to leave it off for part 1 of what if Boruto had a different karma seal. But yeah. Have a nice Patel day. Also, wait, before I say anything else, Boruto's one eye, he can activate an eye, and he can have this eye. And one of his eyes, like his left eye. And his right eye, he has the, what's it called, Jogan. But yeah, that's all I want to mention. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and potato. Potato seed.